Hello, my name's Xavier Martin and I'm a fifth generation farmer from near Gunnedah on the Liverpool Plains in New South Wales, and I'm keen to talk to you about the Australian Grain Champions and GrainCorp proposal for CBH in the West. I should declare at the outset that I'm a shareholder in GrainCorp and also in Namoi Cotton Cooperative, and I've been quite involved with corporations and cooperatives that are involved in agriculture here in the East. And I was very pleased to have taken up an invitation to come to public meetings in the West recently as a result of quite a few phone calls that I'd had from farmers in the West. It was apparent to me in those phone calls that while members of CBH were wanting to compare apples and apples, it was really an apple and a pineapple that was being compared. So GrainCorp has a natural monopoly here in the East, and it exercises it like a 100-ton gorilla. It's certainly acting as a corporation in the interests of its investors, its shareholders, and the return they expect. What I saw in the West is a member-based cooperative, which still with a natural monopoly, CBH, it's delivering those services to the members in their interests, and obviously is driven by those expressed interests of the members who utilise that bulk handling system. I also heard about the comparators in costs in the supply chain, from the delivery at bin, delivery at the sites, through to the boats, and it's quite apparent on the metrics that $21 a tonne less in the West than what's been paid here in the East. I wish I could just book it at $21 a tonne as a difference, but unfortunately the behaviour of a natural monopoly means it costs us as farmers here in the East quite a bit more. As well as farmers and trucking contractors having to increase their fleets, one of the other major investments that have occurred over the last decade or so with the rise of this natural monopoly is the building of on-farm storage. And certainly across the eastern grain belt and around where I am, on-farm storage has been growing exponentially. And they look really terrific. They're unfortunately considerably expensive, $1, $2 or $3 million, some of them. And they definitely assist the smoothing of harvest, but increasingly in the east here we're finding they're turning into weevil factories, and we've got an unmanageable risk around, or it's certainly more than emerged, it's a real risk of resistance, and unfortunately we're leading the nation here with the development of resistant grain insects. That's an issue that we're getting down to very little chemistry that'll work. Some of it's quite high cost, and so again it's another transfer of costs back to us on our farm. The variation between sites at GrainCorp in the East mean that we don't always have every buyer at every site. In fact, it's far from that because there's only certain grades at certain sites and a huge variation in outload capacity and the length of trains that can be put on the sidings, everything from 10 wagons to 40 wagons. We see that even though theoretically there's 150 odd grain buyers of note in this nation and 20 odd exporters, it's not uncommon to only see 2 or 3 posting prices at some sites, and certainly rarely more than 6 or 7. So this then causes us as growers to err on on-farm storage, which I've already covered off is a significant risk and cost to our farm business. So I want to congratulate you on having a first-class cooperative system in the West. I really am impressed with the condition and quality of your assets, the way you and your forebears have built and maintained it. It's obviously doing a first-class job between your farm gate and your customers or your boats. And, I just think its effort as a collective bargaining tool on your behalf, delivering wholesale rates back to you, as opposed to the retail rates we're paying here in the East, it's, you're to be congratulated. I also must say that I hope you as members in future can look favourably upon grandfathering a cooperative here in the east to repeat the efficient effort on behalf of members, and we would dearly love to have a system like yours to support our family farms here in the east. Thank you.